Hey folks, in this video, we're going to just do some very quick polish on this simple stack that we've been implementing and improving. So the two things we want to do here is first kind of deal with the capacity problem a little bit. So a very typical thing is actually to basically remove that constructor that we have where there's a capacity that comes in. We already said there's maybe an issue if that capacity is 0, right? I won't be able to grow it in that case, so maybe I can make it greater than 0. Something else that's very typical is basically to add a default constructor. So a default constructor has no parameters, and we basically get to choose what is the capacity, right? So instead of asking the user for it all the time, or the programmer for it all the time, we'll just pick a number and use it. So here we're just going to pick 100. It's a little bit arbitrary. Normally you pick that based on like how big do you expect that stack to be, right? If you expect that stack to only have a couple of elements in there, only make it small. If you think there's going to be a million things in there, make it a million elements long, right? You can do both of those things. Here I'm just picking 100 kind of arbitrarily. The point is we should add a default constructor which kind of hard codes in that default capacity size, right? That won't cause any issues, that'll even make this easier for someone to use. Okay, second thing to do, right, is pop, right? Pop is a little bit problematic under the following scenario. Imagine you have a empty array, right? You don't have any elements in there, you do a pop. Pop will actually try to view the element at the -1 index, right? This is kind of the opposite from pushing when it's full. Now we're popping when it's empty. Popping when it's empty is a problem. It'll throw an exception. Now for push, it was something we fixed, right? So we made it to be something that we could basically resize, and so it'll never throw an exception, right? That's great. Here we can't quite do that because it doesn't really make any sense to pop from an array that is an array that is empty. It just doesn't make any sense to pop from it. So we're still going to have to throw an exception, but we can throw in a nicer exception. By default, it'll just throw an array out of bounds exception, which is a problem because, well, it doesn't mean anything, right? That array out of bounds exception could mean anything. So it's more convenient to have a specific one. So we'll actually have here a new exception called an empty stack exception. And you can see the source code on the Git repository. It's very simple. We really just need the name. And so this new exception will be thrown whenever I'm looking at an empty array, okay? And I'm trying to do a pop, right? It'll throw that exception. And that'll give me better traceability to know where my problem is coming from. Given that everything's okay though, right, we aren't empty, then we'll just use the pop code from before. All right, so those are my two improvements here, right? I've added a default constructor. I've made pop a little bit more usable from the standpoint of I can now troubleshoot issues that occur with it. All right, that's all I got for this video. And next video we'll talk about our final fix, which is to make this thing an iterable class.